What up, my freaks? RuinousInsight here with part 31 of my Total Warhammer II modded Count Noctilus campaign. So as we saw last time, we had ourselves a nice little battle over here with Two Toes Adley, who was able to destroy, though barely so, the forces of the exotic goods hauler, which I guess gave us some infamy and some money. That is just fine, and that completed that quest. Ooh, speaking of quests, before I forget, I'm gonna forget this again like I did last time, so let's, let's just declare war on Reichland while we're at it. It's not like they're gonna do anything. It's not like they can do anything. Let's say... Who do we want to talk to? Who do we want to talk to join this war? Anybody that we like, Sylvania, ironically enough. Arguelon and Talzin. Oh, right, Arguelon and Talzin. Yeah, sure. We'll join the war. How about Torgavon? Wait, you're not... I just said Arguelon and Talzin, and I proceed to... Okay, you are weaker, therefore you are more likely to allow this. Hi, yes, perfect. And then we will demand, let's see, 2300... You know what, just do it, screw it. I'm not even gonna nickel and dime. That should complete the quest, Reichland. Yes, but more. That gives us 5k and encouraged masses. 50% extra movement range for was it 15 turns? Yeah, that's pretty damn nice. Pretty damn nice. Also, speaking of movement range, Trusty Montfort, I want you to move right here. 29%. You need 25 to go into ambush, correct? I believe I'm correct. Here's what I want to do. Yeah, 25 to mount to ambush, so let's go something like here.
Swiftly now.
There we go. Hopefully that was not too much. Indeed, it wasn't. Now, we can't see anybody over here, so it looks like we're safe. What I'm thinking is going to happen is that these guys are going to be like, ooh, free territories. I'm going to jump down here to Lucchini, wherein maybe we get the first battle for Trusty Montfort. Let's also put Trusty Montfort on their Rotting Promethean right there. Beautiful. To lead those Rotting Prometheans out there. Luther Harkin, you don't need to move. You're going to be building stuff for quite a while yet, friendo. Quite a while yet. So enjoy that. I'm not going to bother with the skill points until we actually need to use these armies, as I'd rather just do multiple skill points at the same time. Two Toes Adley, you're going to go here, and then you're going to go back to the Galleon's Graveyard to sort of re-up your army. We also want to upgrade the Galleon's Graveyard relatively soon. We're not quite there. Let's see, Robin Deans, you, my friend, I forgot what I was doing with you. You've dug at the Temple of Tlencan, so we don't have the riddle here anymore. You've got your quest for Slan Gold, so we can get that going whenever we damn well please. I guess you could go north to Ulthuan. It's going to take a while for the other hero. Well, I guess start sailing up there. We'll see whether we actually need to. I'm actually kind of tempted to delete you, because you're not really going to do much right now. But I guess you're giving us a retinue trainer, which is somewhat helpful. All right, fine. Fair enough. Let's keep that for now. Alrighty, well, with that, I do believe... No, Wendy Hodgson and Margaret Wake still have to move. Okay, once again, let's check those riddles. Alright, I guess I know where you're going. You're going up there. And then you, Margaret, you were going to go to... Did we check last episode? No, we did not. I wanted to check to make double sure that Dreadrock doesn't have something really good in terms of their money-making. Dragonfang Mound is not worth it, whereas Dreadrock is worth it. Okay, so we can make a Pirate Cove here as well. Free cash is free cash, and it'll be a long, long time till we're down here, and we may never bother going all the way over there, to be perfectly honest. It's not part of our objectives. Alrighty, so what do we have in terms of objectives otherwise? Noctilus and Luther are good. Unassigned skill points we will skip. Commandment available. Oh, right, that's when we took Albion last time with a quick auto-resolve. Let's get you your Dredge the Sea, please. And there you go. There you go. Ooh, do you want to build your dart launcher while you're at it? Do you have your ship's carpenter? Yeah, you do. Okay. Pretty happy with everybody right now. Alrighty, unassigned skill points, skip the rest of that, and let's see if those dwarfs jump when we say jump. What could happen is this guy could attack Miragliano while this guy tries to jump over Noctilus, but in that case, I think we'd win. If they jump down here, then this guy will be able to attack him. I think we're pretty well positioned with the double ambush here. And you have joined that army, and what are you gonna do? You're gonna move extremely slightly, and you're gonna not move at all? You gotta be kidding me. Wow, Clan Angrand. You disappoint me. And here I thought you didn't want to shame your ancestors, but here you are actively shaming them. Shaming your ancestors. Clear oceans give us an extra 15 campaign movement range on top of what we already have versus a reduction in campaign movement range but increase in infantry recruit rank. We are no longer recruiting infantry, therefore this is useless. Clear oceans, please. Nothing but death. Maybe some net also. Clark Caron, you are over here. Eh? Well, we were going to sail some units up there anyway, so that's fine by me. Construction cost minus 5% for all buildings, engineer, and rating. That's all good. Ignore the rest of this. You, Silostra, I want you to actually kill off for Karth. Otherwise, he's going to keep annoying. Wow, what the hell is this trash army? Let's just destroy the faction. Otherwise, while we're at war, he's going to keep coming for us. Go to Conquata first, I think, where you can build your next level of dart launcher. Yeah, might as well. Might as well take the extra few turns. You know where you're going, and it's not to Ulthuan, because we're going to sail you up to Ulthuan. Where are you? Right up here. Let's check where those riddles are. Here. So this is, while the flora of the world is exquisite in its danger and beauty, it has always been the fauna that poses. Okay, so it's probably a dino or a tree, or well, probably not a dino here, but something alive out there. Maybe a dragon, maybe a great eagle, probably a great eagle. Alrighty, well, you're gonna move out there and dig while the rest of everybody goes past it. Demolition complete. Pirates, totems, Citadel of Lead, and Isle of... Oh, definitely Isle of Wight's got to get that upgrade as fast as possible. Let's also get our tree and noose. Meat market is already up and running, and we don't have anything otherwise here. Okay, I'm happy with that. Noctilus, you're not moving yet. I mean, you are moving, but we got to get buildings done first. So, Lanma Peck, let's get that. Let's get the secret tunnels. Oh, I do want the next level of barricades. Wow, we're out of money, aren't we? I'm shocked. I'm genuinely shocked. We're completely out of money. Okay, we need to find some damn Skull Islands. This is... Oh, hello. Hello, Black Buckthorn. If it isn't Black Buckthorn. That's an interesting... it's an interesting proposition. You would be able to sail out and attack immediately. Oh, but what if there's another stack belonging to these guys? But can we really pass up this opportunity to get an immediate fight with Trusty Montfort and the giant pile of deck droppers? I feel like we can't. I just feel like we can't. There's also Skull Island right there if we were to heal up. We gotta do it. I feel like this will be fun. It'll be a nice cinematic. Well, plus we have to get this guy anyway, don't we? He's a piece of 8. He's one of the last piece of 8, and ooh, it'll unlock these special Morn goals for Silostra. Still gotta get the Rotting Prometheans for you, actually. Alrighty, well done. Go, do it. Attack Black Buckthorn. I'm very excited about this, and I'm really hoping that you don't immediately get killed by Silostra or something, but we'll see. A decisive defeat. Ooh, scary, scary dwarfs. We shall see about that. Let's get to it. Cinematic battle time. Let's see if we can do this at all. Alrighty, here we go. Deck Dropper debut. This is gonna be an interesting one. Definitely not an army that I've ever actually used. The first time I played Vampires in vanilla, I thought that the deck droppers were absolute trash and never bothered with having more than a couple of them in my armies just for flavor, if nothing else. Here, basically all deck dropper army minus the ground units that we have to have. What are you doing, Krabbies? Why are you jigging around like that? The heck? Something's up with their rendering, but oh well. Anyway, we also... what the heck? And then the... Oh, that's the more powder. Okay, I was just looking weird there for a second. Ooh, I like the shadows from the deck droppers. That looks real pretty. Yeah, this is going to be interesting. Oh, and the first deck dropper goes down. It looks like it's going to be a first blood for them. They look very similar to each other, even though there are different types. Second deck dropper falls, but the army getting closer and closer to the enemy. Fortunately, most of the enemy is a melee army. Unfortunately, they are quite high chevron and have a lot of armor reductions and all that, and plus it's going to be hard to just to kill them. So we're going to see just how powerful the deck droppers are, particularly with handguns, as I think we're going to have to rely on them a lot. Now, some of our units have been pretty badly beat up. The bombers are, well, bombing, looking like they're doing fairly good damage to the Thunderers. We're also focusing down the enemy Iron Drakes over here with our handguns. Ooh, they're trying to fire those deck droppers. I guess same thing's going on here with us focusing the lower armored units like the Thunderers with our bombers, and our handguns focusing down those Iron Drakes. We're certainly taking damage, and it is taking a while. I mean, it's been a minute, and we've certainly damaged some of their units. Unfortunately, one of our deck droppers is already almost, well, not quite almost dead. It's about a little bit over half HP. I have also noticed that some of the deck droppers do hurt each other, in the sense that when they fire, they sort of fire through each other, and then it's not so great. But oh well. I'm starting to not see the reason to have deck droppers with handguns, though, or rather the pistols, as opposed to handguns. I mean, while certainly the pistols do have fire while moving, it just seems to me like maybe the deck droppers with handguns, regardless of that fact, because of their range and damage, might be better. But that's just my first impression. Anyway, let's see how much damage we've done versus how much damage we've taken. Allied troop count has dropped by about 250, so we've certainly lost some deck droppers, mostly out of this one that we got off field in the last second. I'm actually surprised. Wait. Actually surprised that we've lost that many deck droppers. Oh no, we haven't. We haven't lost anywhere near that many. That would be insane, because there's only how many in each mob? 32. Yeah, those were from the summoned zombies that we lost. Okay. How many is the enemy lost, conversely? About 300, although it's certainly taking a while. Gonna try to bomb apart those slayers and just keep firing our volleys with the handguns. It's pretty fun, even if it isn't all that effective. These guys have been trying to attack the Iron Breakers over here, and the bombs are doing basically no damage to them whatsoever. And the handguns are trying, although it's once again certainly taking time. We're also, as you can see, losing a lot of ammunition, which certainly tells us that we probably do want those gunnery wights in here, if nothing else, than to give the deck droppers enough ammunition to sustain them throughout the fight, as they just don't have enough melee damage to be really any kind of use in melee. So you have to basically kill the enemy army like this. Now granted, originally I was intending to have this army be a defensive army, i.e. when the garrison defends, the deck droppers could support by firing on the enemy from on high, flying over the walls and firing into the backs of units as they got up on the walls. Would really, I feel, help with chaos if chaos were to attack our forces. But you know, we can use them offensively against some weaker armies like this one. I don't see why not. Shadows of the Bats. Reminding me of the Vlad campaign more and more, specifically Isabella's rolling in. Now, you guys might also notice the fact that we haven't engaged with our melee units over here. All of our Rotting Prometheans are basically just running away, keeping in the water. The dwarfs are too slow to catch them, and I'm not really of a mind to allow them to do so. Might as well just keep running while we have ammunition and keep doing damage, although once again it is certainly taking a while. Every volley, not every volley I should say, is knocking enemies down. Well, I mean, it's knocking enemies down, but it's not killing them, including slayers, unfortunately, although I suppose the considering the fact that they have no armor, the armor piercing damage of the deck droppers with handguns is wasted on them. Therefore maybe the pistols are better, but hard to say. Hard to say. I am trying to focus the more armored units with the handguns, as I've said, and having the pistols going for the slayers and stuff, which is working out, sort of. I mean, it's still taking a while. Balance of power is shifting. They're at about half of their army, and it's taken 5 minutes. We've also been just trying to kill these freaking Iron Breakers. There are 2 units of them, one on this side, and then one on that side. There have been 2 units of handguns plus 1 unit of pistols just firing at these guys basically since the start, right after the enemy army decided to go after us. And these guys aren't even turned towards us with their shields, and it's still taking forever. Not perhaps surprising, considering this is a relatively low tier unit, although wait, aren't the handgun deck droppers tier 3, I want to say, so they should be okay. I mean, considering the fact that the regular handgun infantry are lower tier and they feel like they do more damage, but that could also be because they have so many upgrades. But still, the fun thing is that we killed all the enemy range units with our first volleys while we still had more powder to increase our damage output, and now it's just a matter of following the enemy army and dishing out the damage. Although, once again, I do got to point out that our average battles in campaign are about 2 to 3 minutes. We're already at 6 minutes, and it's all just flying around and freely taking shots at the enemy, just not being super effective. I keep repositioning the handguns as well, as the dwarves keep trying to move away. You would think, I feel like shooting someone in the back should probably do a little bit more damage than it seems to here, especially with a gun, but I guess these guys, their armor is so thick that even the guns don't penetrate it, unfortunately. Summoned our last unit of bound spell zombies here, just to block them. In the meantime, the rotting Prometheans still moving away. They can do this pretty much forever until we run out of ammo and basically have to fight. What a freaking weird battle, though. Alright, dwarves coming in. These guys are setting up again, and here come the volleys. And then I'm going to let them volley, and I'm going to move them forward after they volleyed again. Just gotta wait for them to set up and just keep firing. Their volleys aren't as entertaining to watch as the regular handgun units, though. I gotta say, not enough units in a squad to make that epic sort of gun line, powder and all, and so many guns firing at the same time thing that we all enjoy very much. Not that this isn't fun. Clearly, this army does need some terrorgeists. And as I said, gunnery wights, and maybe vampire fleet captains as well. The vampire fleet captains will buff our missile resistance, but I feel like we actually get more mileage from more gunnery wights. Maybe we go more gunnery. But the thing about the gunnery wights is, once again, it's a simple matter of lacking the range, or not the range, the amount that we can recruitment capacity. We don't have the capacity to get as many as we want. Ideally, we might even want something like 4 of them in this army, but I doubt it'll ever go over 2. Right now, every single unit of deck gunners. I wish there were flying deck gunners. Yeah, every single one of them was focusing down the enemy lord. It certainly took a while, but he does go down. We're at 8 minutes now, still floating / flying around, but we're almost out of ammunition at this stage, getting closer and closer to being depleted. More slayers are dropping. The enemy is now down to 250 units. Yeah, so if we had the gunnery wights, at the very least, we would have had enough ammo to finish these guys off. There we go, another volley. All right, that would actually brought a decent amount of slayers down, and not a lot of them got back up. Fly overhead there, deck droppers. It's like an air show. Ooh, air show, yeah. I feel like I should call one of the... I think I should call one of the deck droppers air show or something like that. Or something cleverer that I can't think of. Anyway, the rest of the army, other than the Slayers, as soon as the Lord died and a few more casualties were taken, decided that they had had enough. I've also decided that I have had enough and have sent in the little crabby boys to attack the Slayers. Obviously, this is a pretty darn decent matchup for the Slayers, but they've been softened up pretty damn considerably by all of our attacks. I hope that this still counts as water, although, yeah, we're kind of on the edge of it, so it's kind of hard to tell. Pinch them all to death. There you go. There you go. We haven't taken any damage yet by charging this one unit. There are giant slayers here, though. They're a lot more scary, in particular, against the rotting Prometheans. There we go. Yeah, instantly, or as soon as these guys charge, the rotting Prometheans start taking damage. Also, in the meantime, since we've run out of weapons, we've started to drop our deck droppers, ironically. Drop them into melee combat, mostly only because it's necessary. They're incredibly ineffective at this. Just ludicrously ineffective. These guys have 25 HP and, come on, 2 HP. Well, 2 HP is only because they're trying to use Death Blow, but yeah, it takes forever to bring them down. Same thing going on over here, a unit of Giant Slayers. Fortunately, the deck droppers are not giants, and ooh, these guys actually dropped a considerable enough HP to use their HP drop ability. Another unit of Giant Slayers to kill. In the meantime, we're still fighting with our rotting Prometheans, and I guess the deck droppers have had their time in the sun, so it's now just time to watch the Crabby Boys, plus our Vampire Fleet Admiral, or our Legendary Admiral specifically, to snip some Slayers. The heck is up with that tree over there? Stop it, tree. I can see you. It's a holographic tree, damn it. Alrighty, and it looks like just about the last of the Slayers are about to go. Oh man, it's certainly okay. The bats are gonna come in and try to help us out and, you know, really shake the screen. It obviously also takes quite a while for the rotting Prometheans to do anything to the Slayers. The rotting Prometheans are a defensive sort of line. Ironically, I'm starting to feel more like, once again, it would probably be more useful to have rotting Promethean gunnery mobs in this army, as well as in Luther Harkin's army, which is not what I was originally planning, but perhaps that works a lot better with the deck droppers. As long as we get enough capacity for them, I might replace these guys, or at least possibly later. I do still want to see how many of the buffs they double dip into. Also over here, these bats are trying to chase down enemy hammerers and all that sort of jazz, but their melee attack and weapon strength is kind of trash. So 3, 5, 5, 7. And they have no armor piercing. Look how long it takes this. I think this is 2 units attacking at the same time. Yeah, it's 2 units attacking a running away unit with its debuffs, and it's being very slow, and it's just taking absolute ages to drop that HP. Damn. Once you run out of ammo, it's not very useful. I guess that's a good reason to have those handguns that can fire while moving, but only, once again, if you have the ammo to actually continue firing while the enemy runs away. And I believe we're out of buffs for these guys too as well. At least buffs that we can acquire via technology, because we're basically out of technology. Let's see, Giant Slayers, there's 1 left in there, and I think at this point it's just a matter of chasing down any enemy units, so I think I'm just going to speed up the rest of this battle. It is very much over. We have certainly won. I don't know how many units we've lost, but it hasn't been that many, plus we got a few invocations of the heck that we can do over here, so yeah. There we go, the deck dropper debut, and it was a weird one. But it was pretty fun. It was a very different sort of army than I'm used to here, especially with the vampirates, as their, let's face it, their air force is kind of trash. These are not your Vargeists and your terror. Well, I guess you do have terrorgeists. This is not your air force with the Vargeists and flying vampires and all that the vampire counts have with one of the if not the best air force in the game. Definitely competitive with Bretonnian nonsense. Pretty up there, especially in campaign. These guys, pretty damn low tier. I feel like even the at this point, even the Dino's Air Force is probably considerably better, especially since Fire Leech Bolas are amazing. I feel like the deck droppers with bombs are pretty inferior to Fire Leech Bolas now that I look at it. But hey, once again, we did win. Advantage of having a massive Air Force that has range is the fact that you can kill the enemies, or at least a lot of the enemies that can't do anything to you. Imagine running into like a Skaven with Howling Warp Gale though, or perhaps the Lord of the Heavens, or one of the vampire counts with that Midnight Storm, or I don't remember the name of the ability thing that rips apart air units. That's probably going to happen at some point, and it's going to be unfortunate, but I guess at least it'll be fun. Revel in your might. I think we will revel in the might of the deck droppers, such as it is.
Mine.
Alrighty, well, on the one hand, we certainly won. On the other hand, that was probably one of the weirdest battles I've ever fought. What a weird damn battle. And once again, these guys are certainly no Hawk Riders. Is it Hawk Riders or Eagle Riders? I'm pretty sure it's Hawk Riders. I remember I had a full stack of Hawk Riders in the Durthu campaign, and those guys just obliterated any army that came across them, multiple stacks. And then when they ran out of arrows, they were so damn strong in melee that they blendered infantry on top of that. So yeah, pretty big difference. Now let's see who did the damage for the deck droppers. So looks like the handguns 18, 20k, 12k, 12k, 10k, 4k, 12k, 10k. So overall, it looks like the handguns just outright out damaged the deck droppers with bombs. And yeah, I felt like the deck droppers with bombs were a little bit underwhelming. And it looks like the deck droppers with pistols are also outdone by the handguns in general. Now granted, if the battle had been shorter, then these guys would have been about even, but it seems like the handguns guys have more ammo because they took a lot longer to run out of ammo than everybody else did, and thus that allowed them to dish out more damage. I wonder, hard to say. Well, we'll keep it around like this for now, just for variety's sake, if nothing else. Ooh, 3k. Now, this army will survive. I would like to be able to auto-resolve it, but 3k is pretty good. Just assimilate the captives. I really don't feel like the need to fight that again, even though that should give us our piece. Oh, can we even catch them in this turn? I feel like we can't. The Vorgo Nugget, let's give this a quick read. High above Manon's ocean realm, in the place them landlubbers call the Southern Grey Mountains, there be a place with vast seams of gold ore known as the Vorgo Crags. None be brave enough to mine them, though, because of the coldness and the evil things that wander the place. The only piece of Vorgo's go... Oh, damn it, every time. It's here somewhere, I swear. Another victory. The only piece of Orgo's gold unknown to exist outside the mountains was carried out by the single survivor of a doomed mine in that expedition, the rest of them being taken by slow, painful starvation before the evil mountain winds made something unspeakable out of them. Oh, right, yeah, it's talking about how Morngulls are created. Well, isn't that lovely? Can you reach them? It looks like you could just barely reach them. Decisive victory, yes, okay. Good. Okay, at least this time we don't die. This will give us another 1,500 gold or maxed out HP. I think this time, though, we will take the gold, because we don't need to auto-resolve again. Although, wait, are we healing here? No, we're not healing here. Damn, I would have liked to get that Skull Reef as well. I also wonder if there's a full stack there, because if there is, that's going to be not so great. But I guess that'll be something we find out. I guess if this army dies, it isn't a legendary admiral after all, so it won't matter all that much. Let's get you Rotten Death. You did have Drowned Dead. You're really missing some actual damaging spells, although ironically, the Wind of Death probably isn't going to be crazy effective in this particular army, now that I think about it. Also, wait, oh, you can only get one of these rather than all of them, like the others. Oh, interesting. Campaign movement range is probably what I'm going to go with. Missile strength. If this was only missile strength for everybody, then it would be useful. But otherwise, it seems like Smuggler is probably the best thing. And just a little bit of extra range. We'll get Rotten Death for now. I think we can at least get some benefit out of Avasti. I mean, obviously, out of that fight, another thing we've learned is that we definitely need gunnery wights here. There's pretty much no doubt about it. To increase the power and the range, and more importantly, the ammunition of the deck droppers, so they don't run out so fast. 13. Oh, yeah, so these guys have 26 ammunition, and these guys have... Wait, these guys also do have 26 ammunition. So the non-bombers have identical ammunition, but the handguns did considerably more damage. Not quite surprising, because these deck droppers don't have armor-piercing damage, but in theory, I guess they could be better. I did try to target them at the Slayers, though, so... Alrighty, let's see if we got money to build. Ironically, that weird-ass battle took quite a while to do as well. I did want to get this Barricade of Death debris here. I was about to say Barricade of Deaths, and I was like, oh, too real, man, too real. Get out of my life. Let's Barricade of Debts. Let's see. Tax Province. Speaking of debts, your public order is still so screwy. What is up with your public order, man? You know what? Let's get it to level 4, then we can undredge the sea and change it to public order, or alternatively, maybe change one of the other things to public order. Give that some time. Albion, you can be taxed right now. You know what? Let's tax it for a few turns. We do need the money. While Silostra's here for a couple more. Speaking of Silostra, a barb, a launcher, please. I'd like to see them barbs get launched. Let's put somebody named Barb in the in a catapult or in a cannon. You guys are okay. Still kind of tempted to get rid of these, but just keep them. Silostra doesn't need to move. I'll take care of the points at some point. Ha ha ha. Margaret, I thought I moved you, but apparently I did not. Oh, right, we moved you to Dread Rock, and now we're going to have to wait here because there's nothing else to do while we take the time to pop that Pirate Cove up. I really wish that this would get reduced. Does this reduce the time? No, it does not. That's kind of annoying. Really does take a long time for these guys to establish Pirate Cove. Although, to be fair, we're only on turn 90. It's actually not that far into the game, or into the campaign, to be fair, even though we're very close to the objective. But that's just the nature of the Vampire Coast, I suppose. Let's see, unassigned skill points, don't care, but... research available, very much do care. Well, maybe not very much, because the only things left are kind of garbage, and we only got 3 of them left anyway. Alright, so let's take those. Aminar's Resurrection, we're getting to it, although it'll still take some time, I'm sure. I guess we got time to end one more turn before we call this episode. Let's hope that this time the dwarfs actually do something. Although, ironically... oh, you know what? While there is potential for Miragliano to get attacked by Trash Army number 2, I guess we could just send Noctilus to take over Xerexil. And I don't like this one bit. Oh, I don't like this one bit. There are... okay, Pyrrhic Victory. Okay, this will be worth a battle, but I guess that means that we do not have enough time to fight it this episode. We'll start that off with Noctilus fighting at the start of next episode. These guys might also give chase to our deck dropper army. You look like you can just barely reach it, but I'm willing to bet that you can also back off. So, we'll be okay. If we had money, we could also... we don't have 754 anchor? Well, if this guy attacks us, then I guess that won't matter. Although, if this one army attacks us by itself without the help of James the Treacherous, we should be able to deck dropper them to death. Silly deck dropper army. We really just need the upgrades from our gunnery. It's going to be interesting to see how powerful this army can get with multiple upgrades. Although obviously the extra damage from the artillery won't help them, unfortunately, because we won't have them. So it's just powder, wet, and ammunition, plus the lucky spyglass for the extra range. Honestly, considering you buff artillery so much, it almost feels not worth it to get you. But we really need those deck droppers to get just even that little bit of extra range damage, and just even that little bit of extra missile damage. Obviously, we prioritize gunnery whites to artillery-heavy armies, and speaking of artillery-heavy armies, we probably want to get a little bit more artillery in this one. But anyway, that's a problem we'll have to wait for next time. So with that said, as always, I do appreciate any and all feedback with regards to the gameplay or the way I do things on this channel. Don't forget to leave a like and comment for your friendly neighborhood heretic. Stay tuned for Noctilus attacking the forces of Clan Angrund in what is supposed to be a Pyrrhic victory, but will most likely be an absolute slaughter for us. All glory to the algorithm, and thanks for watching.